Okay, hello. It's 8/8 Slime Gate, and I'm back out in the fields of gold, as you can see. And I'm not going to drop this until after 8/8, so this is probably coming out the following Tuesday, but it's 8/8 when I'm here. I happened to catch exactly 8:08 this morning when I dropped my Fields of Gold video, and I'm feeling it today, man. The past few days, I've been clearing a lot of deep stuff, just deep old stuff, deep old wounds. If I wasn't more experienced in this kind of shadow work, then some of that stuff would have been really scary. It's crazy how every time the vault to my buried traumas and hidden pain and, all the ways that we just kind of, soldier on and just are in survival mode in life. Like, it's incredible when you open up that vault and you really feel it, and how there can be moments in your life when you're being triggered and you can sort of get lost, like in this particular situation. But the shadow work makes you step back and be like, oh, I recognize this. This is familiar. And this person out here is acting this out for me, thankfully. Because maybe it is intended for evil and to trigger, but the truth is what God was intended for evil, God will use for good. So that's been going on the last few days, and I've even had the fortune to do what I think a lot of people are recommending just naturally in life. Last few days have lended me to being at the beach, to being out here in this nature, to, drinking a lot of water, to getting a lot of sunshine, to grounding a lot. I don't have my shoes on. I don't know if you can see. Doing a lot of grounding, spending time with trees. But yeah, I mean, it's been a little bit rocky coming up to this because there was a lot of stuff to purge, both physically and emotionally. And I did just cry in my bed some, right? And that was sort of when a lot of the relief started, was when I finally just let myself feel some of these emotions and just go there and just cry. And it's amazing because you just finally have to admit something to yourself you don't want to admit, or face something you don't want to face. You feel it and it feels like, okay, this is it. And then all of a sudden the shift comes, and all of a sudden you're back into a higher space of like, oh, wait, everything's new. Every single day we are redeemed human beings. Every single day we can accept the gift that's been given to us, and 8/8 is a great day to do that, because I think for some reason there's just, it's closer to us. There's a portal to this incredible energy to up level, whatever that means for you. So one of the gifts I want to share is something that's come to me pretty strong, and I want to share it with you because my last video was about sort of accepting our superpowers, accepting that it's not our darkness we fear, it's our light. I think now that's kind of a bad quote of Nelson Mandela. I don't think it's a paraphrase, but we do actually fear our power more than we actually fear being stuck in these boxes and these traumas and these programs. And accepting our power, it can get lost in the ego, and we're like, it becomes all about us and it becomes selfish. And it's like, no, when you accept these powers, but you're connected to the one and the wholeness and the unity of Christ, then it's a different type of power, and they're equally amazing. They'll blow your mind, and they're so hard to even acknowledge and accept. And one of the superpowers that's been coming to me as a gift, and I want to share it with you, is the ability to be truly present in a moment and see the blessings as it happens. Because how many of us do this? We look back and we're like, oh, wow, what a great moment that was. I got to do this, or that person, maybe you never get to see that person again. And that was your last time with them, and you didn't know it at the time. And your mind was bogged down with, like, I got to get to the grocery store. I'm worried about money or a health issue or blah, blah, blah. Like, our minds are all over the place all the time. Or even we're just diminishing and noticing all the things that aren't there, aren't right. And we're hyper focused on that. And that's that perfectionist mindset that I also see a lot when people are creating. They notice everything they're doing wrong, and it prevents them from moving forward because they just feel like it's too bad. But then we look back later, years later, I've talked about this with hearing our performances, our voices, our artwork, when we're removed from it, and suddenly it's like, hey, that was pretty good. It wasn't perfect, but there was something there, it was something worthy. But in the moment, we can get bogged down in this self-esteem where all we notice is everything bad. And I think the same thing can be happening, that God is right there blessing us. His hand is there in your life. His creation is right there. And we just don't have the mindset to appreciate and recognize it. And it's somehow in hindsight that we see more clearly how blessed we were. And life is what happens when we're busy doing other things. I mean, that's the John Lennon quote, and it's so right. And it's that we're thinking about all these other things about how things should be, and we don't recognize how perfect it is as is. And so that's a gift that I'm praying for people now, because I think if that's the case, that could be revolutionary for us overnight. That even when all these terrible things might be coming at us, it doesn't matter, because that's how blessed we are. That's how loved we are. That's how the gift we've been given to be able to step up out of this banana matrix. It's right there for us. And we have free will, and we have to be willing to accept it. And we have to be willing to do the clearing work, to face the shadow, so that there's room to accept these new things. So today I'm out praying. I'm so thankful. And I just want to share that with so many people, anybody whose heart is there, because I think a blessing that I prayed for a long time ago, when I was still pretty naive and into New Age stuff, and I didn't quite understand evil, was that all we needed was for our hearts to be opened, that people were just cold. And I think that's true, but I think a lot of people are coming open. Their hearts are bursting open, but they don't quite have the wisdom or the grounding yet to really understand what to do with that love. And so that's another blessing that I just want to acknowledge, because I think they will. I think we are figuring it out. And I think we need to be thankful that so many of our brothers and sisters, even if they're a little bit foolhardy right now and don't know where to place that love, the love is coming online for them. And there's probably so many other amazing, miraculous things that are happening out in the world. And I'm thankful. And I want to send my sincerest love and desire to inspire you for wherever you're at, that it's perfect, it's right. It's that 5D consciousness of like, it doesn't matter, because God is bigger than it all. He is sovereign, and if you'll align with him, man, you're golden. Pun intended. Okay, so I did kind of practice that song. I guess I'm gonna stop this and see, because I'm a Luddite, as I've said many times, and I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to look at the lyrics, which I don't have memorized, and I didn't actually practice at all, except just now right before. And man, the energy was incredible. I gotta just do it from an energetic perspective, and I want to share it with you guys too, because it just so perfectly expresses everything I'm feeling right now. It says it better than I can say it. So I'm gonna try to sing this song for you right now. 25 years and my life is still trying to get up that great big hill of hope for a destination. I realized quickly when I knew I should that the world was made up of this brotherhood of man, for whatever that means. And so I cry sometimes when I'm lying in bed, just get it all out what's in my head, and I'm feeling a little peculiar. And so I wake in the morning and I step outside and I take a deep breath and I get real high and I scream from the top of my lungs, what's going on? And I said, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I said, hi, what's going on? And I said, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I said, hi, what's going on? Do-do-do-do-do. Da-do-do, you-dum-ba-do-ba-da-da. But and I try. Oh my God, do I try? I try all the time. And this institution, and I pray. Oh my God, do I pray? I pray every single day for Though when I cry sometimes when I'm lying in bed just to get it all out what's in my head, and I'm feeling a little peculiar. And so I wake in the morning and I step outside and I take a deep breath. I get real high and I scream from the top of my lungs, what's going on? And I say, hi, yeah, hi, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? And I say, hi, yeah, hi, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? And I said, hi, yeah, hi, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? And I said, hi, yeah, hi, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? Dee-da-ba-boo, da-da-da, you-da-ba-do-ba-da-do, ba-da-da-yo. 25 years and my life is still trying to get up that great big hill of hope for our destination.